A very good morning, everyone. Welcome to StudyIQ English. Welcome to the Hindu newspaper class with me for 17 January 2025, where you and I shall be looking at UPSC relevant articles for the day from the Hindu newspaper, New Delhi edition. Yesterday, there was no newspaper, so we did a general news picture. Today, yes, the newspaper is here back with full swing, and I have selected about 6 articles from today. The main editorial article today was very political, so we chose to ignore that and we got all the educational articles here. Now we start with the editorial page, that's page number 8. But for today, there are a few interesting facts that we shall be learning. So we shall be looking at Saudi Arabia, the map of Saudi, of course, and we shall look at a very interesting development when it comes to the dynamics between Saudi Arabia and Iran. Key enemies, major enemies in West Asia. Today, a new domain is coming in their relationship. Let's look at that. Let us also look at Iran protest with the map, of course. Today, I shall also be showing you all the important strategic ports of Iran. We'll talk about them. We will also look at a new geographical fact about Saudi Arabia. So, all that it's today's agenda with the map, of course. But then let's begin with the editorial page articles, and that are page number 8 for us, beginning from the first one, which says on mute. We are looking at India's foreign policy, strategic autonomy, non-alignment movement part 2, and therefore it becomes UPSC syllabus GS paper 2 IR, international relations, India versus the world, India's new foreign policy. And before I do that, let me quickly welcome my students who have joined us, like Prasad. Good morning, Prasad. Best of luck for your exam. God bless you. Terukula, I hope you did good in your exam as well. So good morning, Terukula, Sita Ram, Santosh, Adi, Madhav, Iba, Kaizan, Bulbul, Priyanshu, Ramu, Anushka, and many more code names, including, okay, Jeevit. All right. Very, very good morning. Yes, very good morning there. Good morning, Sumit. I wonder what happened to Kojumba. She was not there yesterday. She's not there today. So I hope all the other students can join very soon. Good morning, Diptesh. Good to see you here. And Anoop. Very good morning. And as other students keep joining, let's quickly start with today's agenda. The first article, as Ramu confirms, India's new non-alignment policy. From the times of Pandit Nehru, India has always believed in non-alignment. We are looking at a world that was first characterized by colonialism, the First World War. It followed with division of the world between different parties. Let's say World War II. 1945 onwards, the world is now moving towards multilateralism, but despite that, until a very long time, say until 1990s, the world was ideologically divided between, on the one hand, America, and on the other hand, USSR, Soviet Union, which actually then broke down back in 1991. And today we have another major powerful country in that region named as Russia. Russia, which is, although a broken part of Soviet Union, but today, under President Vladimir Putin, it keeps trying to exert its influence in the nearby areas. So although there is no more Soviet Union, but for Russia, it is always a need to keep on dominating the regions that were ex or previous Soviet. We have seen from 2014 Crimea to today, all the regions being claimed by Russia. Yes, so one hand is Russia. The other hand, of course, is America. America, the most powerful economy, the most powerful military. A country that has always believed in unilateral dominance over multilateralism. America was one of the last countries, in fact, to become a part of globalization. It believed in supremacy. Today, although America is a key founder, a key part of many, many global institutes, but under President Trump part 2, his second regime, America seems to be going back to its shell, going back to its cocoon. It seems to believe in supremacy and unilateralism more than respecting global multilateral bodies. For example, exiting UN, exiting WTO, exiting World Health Organization, exiting G20, threatening G7, threatening NATO. All these are the new agendas. We have seen that, yes? Today, America is the ruler of the Western Hemisphere. We have seen that. Recently, where did we see that? We see that in Venezuela. Yes, we have seen that in the Monroe Doctrine. Today we are calling it Dunro Doctrine. We see that in the oil diplomacy of President Trump. Go on and keep on targeting all the oil rich countries in the world. It's threat against Iran, it's threat against China, Russia, even India when it comes to tariff threat. Okay. So America dominates the Western Hemisphere, but there is a new development that happened post 1990s, and that was emerging China as a developing country, a very quickly developing manufacturing hub, a country that has manpower, a country that has now controlled technology. So today we can say practically there are three hubs, not two. Unlike the Cold War period, today we have three broad poles in the world. Of course, one in the Western Hemisphere, Caribbean, North Atlantic is your President Trump. When you look at the Eastern Hemisphere, the power seems to be divided between Russia and China. Russia, a country that dominates defense and technology, but still not as strong as an economy. China, a great economy, a country that has trained its manpower. Today, monopolizing supply chain, rare earth materials, soft power, supply chains in pharmaceuticals and all that. Okay, so the world is divided into these three poles. Now comes the position of global south. Where is India? India, as a leading nation of global south, therefore, has a very big foreign policy confusion. Whether to support the ideology of America, like India used to support. When President Trump had his first tenure, even during the times of Joe Biden, even during the times of Obama, India and America were almost like great foreign policy allies. India always supported America because India also has threat from China. Yes? So now, America, India were a great party. Now, this time, President Trump, part two, his second regime, seems to have completely belied that belief. Today, after getting mocked for Operation Sindoor, after not getting any space in United Nations Security Council, yesterday one student was asking, I'm not sure whether it was Kritik or whether it was Kaizan. A very beautiful question. That, ma'am, we are the largest contributors to United Nations security forces. We are the fourth largest economy, but then still, why do we never get any chance of becoming the P5? The permanent member of UNSC, why don't we have veto power? You see, therefore, we realize today that there are no permanent friends, there are no permanent enemies. Today, India cannot depend on America. After the Trump tariff attack, after the visa attack, we cannot depend on China. What did China do? 2 days before, despite 5 years peace after Galwan Valley, China is now claiming Shakhs Gum Valley above the Siachen battlefield in Jammu and Kashmir. We saw China, how it keeps on ruthlessly claiming the area of Arunachal. It calls it Zangnan. We have seen China's repeated incursions in areas of Aksai Chin. We have seen Pakistan. It keeps on intruding India. We have seen Pakistan's ruthless behavior when it comes to becoming friends with India's enemies like China. Okay, so that means there are no permanent friends, no permanent enemies, that's for sure. And that has given India a new foreign policy agenda today. Rather than being close to one leader, rather than being close to one country, it's a better thing to do, diversify. Engage in multilateral dialogue. Believe in the new concept of non alignment movement. This is another advancement to Pandit Nehru's non-alignment movement. Previous non-alignment was about not supporting anybody, being equal to everyone. Today, non-alignment movement part 2, spearheaded by leaders like S. Jaishankar. It is about looking at your own priorities, prioritizing yourself, being a little selfish when it comes to your economic security and defense needs, and using partnerships to fulfill your own needs. This is strategic autonomy, where you choose to be independent and you choose decisions, you choose friendships and enemies based on your convenience, not on ideologies. So, this is India today. And therefore, this article, this editorial here looks at India's interest can be secured only by asserting, being very confident about strategic economy. So now let's break down the article in this background. What are we exactly talking about? Absolutely, Ramu Terukula. They are wonderful points you're making. Yes, Kaizen, you said that. I now remember. Good morning, Hari. Welcome, dear. Welcome. Good morning, Pavan Gopal. Welcome. Now let's begin with the article itself. What does this article say? Article is saying that Aggressive and unilateral. What is unilateral? You know that, right? Multilateral is when various countries are doing something in coordination. Unilateral is taking an action alone, being dominant on others, having a monopoly. We have seen America's aggressive and unilateral actions. Where have we seen them? We have seen them in three places clearly. We have seen them in the economic domain, the 50% tariff, additional 25% tariff with Iran trade. We have seen them in the case of Venezuela, Operation Southern Spear plus Operation Absolute Resolve. We have seen the capture of Mr. Maduro. We have seen the breakdown of oil supply to Cuba. We have seen the threat against Greenland, owned by Denmark, a NATO country. We have seen the threat against Iran. This is what America is doing now. America has repeatedly also put sanctions on countries like Russia and China. America has put sanctions on countries like Iran, Venezuela, so that all these countries have a major loss to their economy, and it did happen as well. I mean, it is because of decades of American tariff sanctions that today Irani oil has no value. Irani currency, Rial, has depreciated. No country is confident of doing trade with Iran except perhaps America's enemies like Russia or China. No country does that. This is a complete monopoly, absolutely. We have seen that. How America kept on pressurizing a country like India. Where? How? First, increasing the fee of H-1B visa, making sure Indian startups and Indian employees do not enter America easily. Second, putting 50% tariff on India, pressurizing and troubling India, threatening India that do not import oil from Russia. Third, threatening India, do not do any trade with Iran, putting additional tariff on that. Pressurizing India to disconnect with the Chabahar port, India's strategic location as a part of IMEC in Iran. Threatening India that issue with Pakistan must be interfered by President Trump. It is not about India's decision, it should be American decision. All that America has been doing in the last few years, and nobody could say anything about it. It's a clear-cut case of monopoly. This article is therefore arguing that there is one thing that we have learned today. There is a quotation in English, once burnt, twice shy. Similarly, after experiencing this tragedy with relations with America, India has learned one thing, that supporting and aligning with any global power is not going to help you. Sorry, it won't. America used to be a great friend. Today, look what's happening. India is busy. We are making quick free trade agreements. I told you with New Zealand, in a record time, we closed a big free trade agreement, comprehensive economic partnership agreement within a period of 9 months. Why were we in such emergency? Because we need markets. American market is closed now to Indian exports in a big way. I told you yesterday we lost $48 billion profit, business of trade, export with America. Today India is experiencing a huge export deficit with China, with America. Why? Because of the high tariff burden. You see, America backstabbed us. Now we are busy finding friends, and we are so desperate to diversify our markets that we saw leadership visit to Jordan, Ethiopia. We saw it to Oman. Earlier, these countries were not even on India's priority. These were small markets. Eric asked that question. I don't know who asked that question. It was a wonderful question again. That, ma'am, will we get a benefit by trading with these small countries? I mean, look at the population of New Zealand. It's not even worth India's one state population. Will it help us in diversifying market? And what did I say? I said, Bacha, if you can't have this big cake, you will try to have smaller pieces and make a bigger one, right? That's what India has to do now. We lose a big partner, we have to find many small partners to make up for the loss. You see, that's where India took a big hit, okay? So therefore, there is one lesson we understood today, that permanent friendship is a failure. Permanent enmity is a failure as well. I mean, how are we trying to balance China today? If you see, ideally, a country like China doesn't deserve any dialogue. A country with which we are shaking hands at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, a country with which we are very happily declaring the Tianjin Declaration, a country with which we resumed visas, resumed flights, bilateral trade. Today, again, China strikes at Shakhs Gum. China supports Pakistan, CPEC, China Pakistan Economic Corridor, a part of BRI. It is traversing through India's territory in Baltistan, Gilgit Baltistan. You see, can we trust a country like that? Sorry, we can't. We cannot. But what choice do we have? You can't have enemies, you can't have friends. Absolutely, Satya. You can't have enemies, you can't have friends. So, therefore, India is dealing with China also. India is doing free trade agreement with America also, despite all these attacks that we went through. So, today, strategic autonomy is the biggest agenda in foreign policy. For 2026 mains exam, you will 100% get a question. Take it in writing from me on strategic autonomy. So, bacha, please know what is that? Strategic autonomy is a kind of foreign policy principle. That means a country believes that she has to make independent, free, and self centered, independent foreign policy decisions based on your national priorities without being dependent on any one country, without believing in a permanent friendship with any other country. You cannot have a friendship with one bloc. You can't say, I support China or I support America or I support in the West Asia Saudi camp. No, no, no. I support the Israel camp. Sorry, you can't do that. You can't do that. So you have to be sure that you make friendships only for your benefit. I need access to Dukum port. I will make friends with Oman. I need access to Chabahar. Iran is my friend. I need Sudarshan Chakra. Who said that now? Somebody mentioned. I need S-400, S-600. I will take help from Russia for oil also. It's my need. And I need to push my free trade agreement, my bilateral trade pacts. I will make that with China. Despite China being an enemy, but that's different. What to do? We can't hate, we can't love. I need to do trade with New Zealand, Australia. I will. At the same time, I feel my economy gets impacted badly when I'm dealing with RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, a part of ASEAN. I won't do that. Okay. So that's the strategic autonomy principle right now. It gives you too much flexibility. That means no kind of binding and no kind of permanent commitments. But at the same time, although India is doing this today, but this article is also criticizing one thing that India has done. The writer of this article feels that India has rather chosen to be too quiet, too mute about things in which we should have been more vocal. Example, Venezuelan crisis. In front of the whole world, President Trump broke Article 2.4 of United Nations Charter by attacking Venezuela midnight and capturing Mr. Maduro with his wife. After that, America says, I am the de facto ruler of Venezuela, the de jure ruler. I will take all the oil to America. My private companies are going to take your oil. At that time, India expressed a deep concern through Ministry of External Affairs, but India did not openly condemn. India criticized America's violation of global law. Similarly, when it comes to Russia-Ukraine, there was a scope of peace pact where President Zelensky of Ukraine said, okay, let's talk about reaching a peace agreement. I may think of giving more territories to Russia, including strategic locations like Donbass, Crimea. Crimea has gone already. Kherson, Zaporizhia, Luhansk. But let's sit on the table. But what did Russia do? Russia said, no, Ukraine is attacking a place that's near Mr. Putin's house. And Russia will not spare that. And the very next day, Russia attacked a region, Lviv, I showed you on the map, in Ukraine. India condemned the violence against Ukraine, but India has not rejected or passed any resolution against Russia at all. Third thing, look at Iran. Today, India is not ready to condemn, India is not ready to openly criticize the initiative that America is taking against Iran. India did not say anything about the sanctions that America has now once again put on Iran. In fact, India is busy focusing on evacuating its people from Iran. India is busy talking about safety and travel and trade advisory rather than openly condemning President Trump's action until yesterday. When we should not use these words, because we are having an intellectual discussion, but it really feels odd, it's very absurd. when a president of America snatches the Nobel Peace Medal from another leader who is the rightful winner of that medal. It defeats the purpose of Nobel Prize as well. Who condemned? Who said anything against that? Did India say? Did any country openly criticize him? No, we did not do that. So, this kind of silence has shown that India is, although believing in strategic autonomy, but India still is kind of quite nervous when it comes to too much monopoly of America. India is not saying anything openly against America. India refuses today to completely openly criticize China when it comes to China's action on Taiwan and Japan, and India has not said anything against Russia either. You see, if everybody keeps quiet, if everybody is trying to make everybody happy, we are paying a price for the policy of appeasement. Now, there is, Bacha, a very thin line. Focus on what I'm saying. There's a very thin line between being strategic autonomic and practicing policy of appeasement. What is appeasement? When you want to make the other person happy. There is a thin line between these two things. By being strategic autonomous, you choose to do what benefits you, but by refusing to criticize others, very good Satya, by practicing, am I not audible, Urupam? Urupam, Bache, I'm not audible. Am I audible to everyone else? Am I audible to everyone else? Please confirm. Urupam, could you refresh your link? Yes? Terukula, Urupam, Satya, Madhav, please confirm. Am I audible, Ramu? Priyanshu, please confirm, Bache. Can everybody hear me? Yes, please, I'm waiting for your confirmation. It's fine. Am I audible? Thank you so much. Thank you, Akhtar Kojumba. Good morning, my dear. I was missing you. Okay. Thank you, Sitaram. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please refresh Urupam. Thank you. Coming back to the agenda. There's a very thin line between policy of appeasement, making somebody happy, and practicing strategic autonomy. As Satya said, when you are too quiet, when you are strategically silent, sometimes you're supporting the wrong thing, and the impact of that wrong thing will come to you as well. Today, the more we choose to be quiet, the more we choose to make countries like America happy, the more America keeps on pressurizing us. Is it? Voice is an issue? I think some students said I'm audible. Hello? Some are saying I'm audible. Some are saying there's no voice. I'm not sure what's going on. I would need more confirmation from everyone. All is going fine at my end. Can you confirm? Hira, Ritu, please confirm again. From my side, everything is clear. Are you not able to hear me? There is a problem with the voice. Just confirm once again, Satya and Urupam. Yes, Satya, Urupam. What's the problem? Is it internet problem or what is it? It's happening from my side. I'm not sure. Everything is working fine here. Terukula says it's good. Kojumba says again it's good. Is it Satya? Okay. So maybe you just need to refresh a little bit once. Try that. Else again it happens. Let me do something about it then. Okay. I'm so sorry for that if it's happening. I'm really sorry for that. Thank you, Brajesh, Eric, Kaizan. Thank you. Okay. So if there's anything, just let me know. Very good. Well said, Madhav. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Now let me come back to the agenda. Sorry for the trouble. Now we are saying there is a thin line between making someone happy and choosing strategic autonomy. When you make somebody too happy, when you try to appease somebody, they take advantage of you. We were trying to make America happy by not criticizing American action on Iran, Venezuela, or Cuba. Today, what's happening? Today, problem is that same America is again and again threatening us. Despite not saying anything against America, did that stop America from announcing additional 25% tariff sanctions on those countries which are dealing with Iran? It did not stop. Is America supporting us by reducing our tariff? Yesterday, we saw America has reduced tariff of nations which are rich in technology like Taiwan, South Korea, Japan. Why? Because America needs them for semiconductor and AI chip manufacture. Did He reduced tariff on us? No. So what is the benefit we got despite being quiet, despite appeasing America? Plus, it's a loss of India's goodwill in the public community. India stands for sovereignty. India stands for democracy. But when India is quiet on actions taken by America or Russia or China, it means our global image as the leader of global south goes down. Definitely, it is harming us economically. Initially, America said stop doing any kind of oil trade with Venezuela. We stopped. We stopped. Later, America said stop doing any kind of trade with Iran. Once upon a time, India and Iran used to have a very great amount of trade. India was a key importer of crude oil from Iran. America put sanctions. Gone. No oil trade anymore. I showed you day before yesterday. Now we are only trading in things like apples, pistachios, electronic and medication. No trade in oil. Second trade partner lost, Venezuela, Iran. Today we are on the risk of losing a third trade partner, the biggest one, Russia. What kind of autonomy and what monopoly is this? It hurts India. And at what cost? Because of America, we are losing these 2, 3 trade partners. In return, what is America giving us? Did America reduce our tariff? No. We are again experiencing export deficit when it comes to China, America both. At the same time, it is damaging all other relationship. Yes, it has damaged India's relation with Iran, completely damaged India's relation with Venezuela. Today, the risk is it will spoil the relations with Russia. Luckily, India did not give in to that pressure. So, why does strategic autonomy matter so much? Because if you continue to be scared of a nation like US, you will never achieve your purpose. We are a growing economy. We need energy. We need support. Because America threatens, we can't stop doing that. Today, he has taken a wrong action against Venezuela. Now, what's the guarantee? It will not be done to us tomorrow. Is there a guarantee? There's no guarantee. So therefore, what's the solution under strategic autonomy? Solution is multi-alignment again. So therefore, there is a very one big thing that we are learning in today's class. And I want you to write this in your answer. Who was talking about answer? Terikula? Yes, you can write this. You should write this in your answer. What have we done? We are now moving from non-alignment to multi-alignment. This is strategic autonomy. This is non-alignment part 2. India has moved from non-alignment to multi-alignment now. Okay. Why? Because now we are trying not to criticize anybody, although we should sometimes be open about it. We are not trying to make friends or enemy. We are doing a tightrope balancing. I mean, look at America. Despite such problem, still India, America are doing bilateral trade. Till today, both are dealing in defense manufacturing, space technology. Look at Russia. Despite so much pressure, we continue to do oil imports from Russia. We continue to have a great defense relation with Russia. BrahMos, Sudarshan Chakra, all that. Looking at China, China, despite being a strategic enemy, we still engage with China very, very balanced. We criticize things like Shaks Gum, things like Aksai Chin. We criticize things like Arunachal, but we continue to do trade. We continue to import too much pharmaceutical raw material from China, electronic goods and rare earth elements from China. This is what it is. Multi-alignment policy. You know nobody is your friend. You know nobody is going to help you, but you have to navigate in this reality. This is multi-alignment. So today, India really needs to be sure that we believe in multi-alignment, not appeasement policy. Because we have learnt our lesson now. Appeasing a great power, making the big countries happy will definitely not solve any purpose. The more assertive you are, the more autonomous you are, the more multi-aligned you are, your interests will continue to be solved. A very good example I can give you. Recently, when President Putin came to India as a part of 23rd India-Russia summit in New Delhi, where both the countries have signed the Relos agreement, there India and Russia have also spoken about one more thing. Today, they are considering trading in their own currency. At least before they can do that, they might trade in yuan. India purchases so much oil from Russia. Second largest Russian oil importer after China. That's who we are. But we are paying back in yuan. We are not paying in petrodollar. BRICS. India is using platforms like BRICS, G20, to make sure that we maintain a status that is opposing America. At the same time, we also are a part of Quad to make sure we continue to criticize China. So you see, that's a perfect example of a very balanced foreign policy. And therefore, there is one key takeaway from this article. From non-alignment to strategic autonomy, from non-alignment to multi-alignment, that's what we understand. Very good, Ram. Absolutely. We can't. We can try doing that, but it's very difficult to become Atmanirbhar in rare earth material. I told you earlier also, upstream is not the problem. It's always the midstream and the downstream that are the challenges. So I told you yesterday, here we must diversify our trade partnership. When it comes to extraction, let's depend on resource-rich countries like Africa, South America. When it comes to technology, how to do downstream and midstream, make friends with countries who can give you that superior technology like America, like Japan. And when it comes to midstream, cleaning, heating, smelting, you can make friends with countries of West Asia. So you see, that's how you diversify, because it's a long journey to become strategic autonomous, at least when it comes to rare earth material. So very well said, everyone. Absolutely, because you know you cannot be a part of G7. It's a very closed group. Earlier it was G8, but 2014 as Russia captured Crimea, America removed Russia. But today look at the hypocrisy of America. America says after the peace deal with Ukraine happens, we can invite Russia back in G7. Once again, we can make it G8. Not a problem. Now, he's so busy in capturing oil-rich countries. He is so busy in terrorizing Iran and South America that he has completely forgotten that President Putin used to be his enemy at some point of time. Okay, so remember that. All right. Quickly, the question. With reference to India's strategic autonomy and foreign policy, consider these. 1. Strategic autonomy means India avoids formal military alliances and takes independent foreign policy decisions based on its national interest. Second, India's previous compliance. What is compliance? When you abide by something, when you follow or believe in something. So India's previous belief in unilateral sanctions imposed by major powers has always strengthened its energy security and strategic partnerships. And 3, asserting strategic autonomy has made India been able to balance relations with multiple global powers while safeguarding, protecting its economic and diplomatic interest. Which of these are valid? Majority students, including Sam, Janvi, Kojumba, Sumed, Eric, Ramu, Shubham, Pushpita, Terukula, good morning Vikash, and Lakshman and Shiv. Everyone is saying Urupam as well, Santosh as well. The answer should be A, but some students here and there have also chosen D. Why like that? Let's quickly see. Is the first statement correct? It is correct. That is strategic autonomy. You don't favor one country, you create multi-alignment. That's correct. Okay. Now, what about second statement? Is that valid? In the past, in our history, we have always believed in countries who have put unilateral sanctions. Have we done that? Have we really done that? Have we supported any country who's putting single-handed or unilateral sanctions? No, we have not. We haven't done that. During Cold War, we never supported anybody. Today, as America is putting sanctions on Venezuela and Iran, we don't support that. Just that we have to be worried about that. So we had to follow it out of fear. We followed it. We stopped trade with Venezuela. We stopped oil trade with Iran. We did follow, but out of compulsion. But has that helped us? Has that improved our energy security? Absolutely no. It hasn't. Initially, because of sanctions, we stopped oil trade with Venezuela. What happened? Our needs were not fulfilled. We stopped taking oil from Iran. How did it help us? Sorry, it did not help us. It made us more insecure. And that's the reason why we are putting our foot down and saying, sorry, we are not going to listen to your sanctions today when it comes to Russia. Keep giving punishment. Keep putting tariff. 50%, 25% extra, but we will continue to trade with Russia. It's a matter of need. It's not a matter of alignment. So second is wrong. Second is wrong. Third is again correct. So therefore, answer will be A. Really well answered. Wonderful. That was about NAM 1.0. Today it is about NAM 2.0. That is multi-alignment. So very well answered, Madhav, Rajneeshwar, Jeevit and Sitaram. Well done, Kaizen. Good. I hope nobody is confused with D. Okay. Presuming that it's clear, let's quickly jump on to the next article. Today you are traveling to West Asia with me again. We are going to Iran and we are going to Saudi. So let's look at the second topic here. We are looking at the budget that's now going to be released as a part of new financial year 2026-2027. So this becomes a GS paper 3 topic because we are looking at union budget. We are looking at Indian economy. And before I start talking of this article, here's a quick request from you. Can anybody tell me which article of the Indian Constitution talks about the union budget, the annual financial statement? Quickly let me know which article of the Constitution talks about the union budget, annual financial statement. Once you tell me, we'll proceed with what this article has to say. Okay. Think about it and give me the answer. I proceed in the meantime. Now, this article is telling, despite global uncertainties, good morning, Vikash, there is so much uncertainty in the world. Yes, there is so much uncertainty in the world. Uncertainty is happening because America, which had given us 50% tariff as a punishment for importing oil from Russia, has today once again threatened us that if you continue to trade with Iran as well, we will put another 25%. And if you do not stop trading with Russia, I may put a tariff of 500% on you. Do you realize? 500% of you on you. This is the kind of uncertainty Indian economy is facing from 2025 onwards. Repeated tariff pressure, repeated reduction in our export surplus, repeated trade deficit. And what happened as a result of that? When somebody attacks you, your defense mechanism has to be high. You try to protect yourself, and that's what India did. Talking about what did India do domestically, within our country, we conducted the GST reform. Within our country, the RBI took care of repo rate and cash reserve. Within our country, we also tried to improve domestic demand by pushing in more liquidity in the system so that if export income is not coming, at least domestic demand and indigenous income and spending should be quite high. All that we did on the local area. What did we do outside? Outside, we know what did we do. Outside, our response was diversification. We diversified our export markets and made too many free trade agreements, preferential trade agreements, comprehensive economic partnerships with nations like UK, EU, the 4 countries of TIPA, New Zealand, Australia, West Asia, Japan, China, whatnot. These were 2 things India did naturally. Self-defense is very natural. But at the same time, India also showed that it is very resilient. Despite such a big attack, we are still trying to balance our falling currency value and we are balancing our declining export surplus. That's what we are doing. So therefore, now that the government is going to create the budget for 26 and 27, there is one clear-cut priority. We must allocate enough money in priority sectors in order to strengthen domestic growth engine. What is the core strategy of this budget? Strengthening domestic demand. If export demand is declining, increase Indian domestic demand. Second, improve fiscal consolidation. Maintain debt. Public debt should be under control. And third, create reforms in order to encourage private sector investment and startup culture in India. These are the 3 agendas. So now, what are the priority sectors? How should the budget give enough money to priority sectors? Now, natural question is then, what is the priority sector? Very good by everyone. Absolutely. It is Article 112. We are looking at the union budget, annual financial statement. Beautiful. Well answered, everyone. Great job. Wonderful. Correct. 110 money bill, 117 financial bill, all that are additional. Main key takeaway, yes. Union budget, Article 112. Thank you for the detailed explanation, Ram. Wonderful. Now coming back to this article, what is the message of this article? In the new budget, invest money in priority sectors. What are priority sectors? Please focus. 1. Defense and strategic capacity. That's a priority sector. And what can we do here? India's target is to make defense expenditure, defense capital expenditure up to 30% of our total capital expenditure. So defense budget will be given priority. We must start funding organizations like DRDO. Defense Research Development Organization to do more R&D into creating indigenous weapons. Atmanirbharta. Third, expand industrial corridors for defense. For example, India has the Eastern India Corridor. We should make this as a hub which manufactures India's own defense products. Create partnerships with countries like Russia, France, Italy, Germany, which can supply us defense mechanism, defense material, and jointly we can create production houses in India. Yes. Second important agenda, critical minerals and clean energy. Thoroughly, we have discussed many times the difference between critical minerals and REE. REE, a devoted group of 17 elements on periodic table. Yes, 17 lanthanides, scandium, yttrium. What about critical minerals? A much broader word, which includes many other non-REEs like lithium, cobalt, graphite. Both are crucial for India. Why? Because they are used in renewable energy, solar cells, electronic vehicles, semiconductor, AI chip. Yes, mobile and smartphones, defense equipment, right? We need them. So, what can India do? India can focus now on implementing the National Critical Minerals Mission, NCMM, effectively. Very good, Satya. In very good, Hari. India can now launch recovery programs and provide proper financing to explore upstream plus midstream, cleaning, heating, smelting, refining various kinds of critical minerals. Explore the thorium reserves in states like Kerala, Andhra, and Tamil Nadu. Explore the possibility of more critical minerals in areas like the Raisi district of Jammu Kashmir, which has important reserves of rare earth material. Plus, support clean energy goals, provide subsidies to sectors that are creating electronic vehicles, semiconductor, and advanced technology for agriculture, defense. Third, improve export and trade competitiveness. Now, just by saying that India should promote its exports, it is not enough. It's not easy also. We are trying to diversify the market, but it takes time. It takes time to improve your export. So for that, you need two things here. I will talk about two concepts here. So please focus. Very good, Eric. Please focus here. When I say India must give priority in the budget to promoting export and to make our trade more competitive, we should understand two logic here. One logic is RODTEP, important. Other is AEO certification. What are these? Let me quickly explain it to you from the scratch. Okay. Main agenda is in the budget 26-27, India should promote export. India should promote its trade. How? These two things will help. One, increase more budget money for RODTEP so that Indian exports are competitive in the world. But what do you mean by that? Let's understand. This stands for remission of duties and taxes on exported products. What does it mean? It means every time an exporter is exporting something outside the country, they are also paying a hidden cost. I am an exporter, for example, okay, and say Terukula, Vikash, Eric, Ramu, and Satya are in London. They are British consumers, and I am an Indian exporter. I am exporting this pen. Every time I'm showing pen, that's all I have right now. India is exporting this pen. As an exporter, I have spent money in making this pen. I have followed so many carbon emission protocols. I have done everything to make it. In process, I gave job to so many people also, okay? But I made this pen. Now is the time I'm selling this pen to you. But do you realize, despite the plastic, the semiconductor material, or despite the critical mineral, or despite the fiber that I have invested in this pen, there is a hidden cost also that I have paid. I have paid too many things like electricity bill. I have paid fuel tax. I have paid so many other things, water tax. I have paid a hidden cost also, carbon tax, very good, in making this pen. Yes, yeah, Kujumba, it's an assumption. Now I have paid so much money in making this. But what happens? Under GST, it is not refunded. The hidden cost is not refunded to the exporters. So what happens then? My production cost will increase, right? One is the main cost that goes behind making it. The other is the hidden cost behind making it. Transport bill, supply chain bill, electricity bill, water bill, carbon tax. Who will give me that money back? So rather than the 50 rupees that go behind making it, maybe the hidden cost, if I calculate, I have to spend 100 rupees. Plus, I will also have to adjust my product according to the demand of the foreign market. I have to make it very compliant with carbon emission norms. Over and all, if you add export duty to it, I spent 200 in making it, I only earn 150. Still, I am on loss only, right? 50 rupees loss for me. How can my government help in this? My government can start refunding me the hidden cost that I have put behind this pen, so that at least I am getting profit and my product is then profitable to me. Otherwise, why will I produce? What benefit will I get? So therefore, today what happens under GST norms, we are not refunding the hidden cost to the exporter. But it is very important because these hidden costs are making my product more expensive in the foreign market. So how can the government help? The government can help in refunding these costs so that my products are now affordable to manufacture and they are competitive. I get profit on that. Very good, Ramo. Cascading effect will not happen. I don't have to pay more tax on a tax. Okay, so that's how my government can help me. And it can help me by increasing the allocation in this new budget now, so that there is not delay in giving me this refund. If you give more money from the budget, then exporters will be given refund on time. Their production cost will decline. They will produce then more happily. They will get more profit and their products are also more competitive in the trade market. That is about RODTEP. Okay. Second is AEO. Then what is AEO? To boost Indian exports, how can Indian government? Yes, I remember. Very good. Through Africa also, Satya. That's called rerouting. That's called rerouting. It defies rules of origin protocol under WTO. Very good. Very well said. Okay, sure. Now coming back to AEO. What is AEO then? To make my exports competitive, Indian government must also relax AEO norms. But what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? AEO means authorized economic operator. So listen carefully. Okay, I will do that. Okay, I'll do that. I'll put a great note on this and post it on the Telegram for you, Terukula. Then you can download it from there. Okay, bacha? I'll do that for you. Now focus on AEO. Very good. What is AEO here? Now, what my government should do to improve exports is that AEO is a certification that's only given to trusted exporters. It's not given to everyone. It's given to importers, exporters, and logistic companies which have a good image in the market. For example, I and my 10 more friends, we all have decided to do a business. I say I have an eraser. Okay, we will manufacture this eraser, and 20 people want to do it together. So I am a famous exporter. Now 19 more friends want to join me. They want to open franchisee. They want to work alongside me. They want to open factory, make the rubber and send it to say London or America. But the problem is I may have a good name in the market. For example, my friends don't have. My company is registered. I am doing business for 20 years. I have a great image. So the government will give me this certification very easily. I will get AEO. Okay, I will get authorized economic operator. But what about my 19 other friends? They are new to business. Who will trust them? Nobody trusts them. They don't have a name or experience. But they really want to do this trade with me. They want me to help them and together we can promote the business. But who will give them this certificate? They won't give them because they are not a famous exporter or importer so far. So now what happens? If we relax the laws, if we start giving many more people easily the AEO certification and start registering new companies more easily under AEO certification, then more business opportunities will increase for other people as well. If you don't give people, now what is happening? New companies and new startups, even if they are doing very good, even if they are associated or affiliated to a bigger brand or a bigger company, the problem is they don't get it. Even if they are associated with a company which already has an AEO, because they are newcomers, they are still not getting it. They are not eligible for it. This is creating a delay. This is creating higher cost for them. This is creating inefficiency. And then what happens? The big groups can get benefits, but the smaller groups can't. Okay, despite being subsidiaries, they can't get. So my 19 friends will not get. Even if they are my franchisee, my subsidiary, they will not get. So what can we do in this budget? We can give more money in this sector. We can relax the AEO norms. for new firms that are now registering, and therefore they should also be eligible for AEO accreditation. If a parent company has AEO status, then the newly formed franchisee or its small part should also get this certification easily. A good compliance record should mean we should allow their affiliates also to get the same benefit. Because if we do not do that, then what's the use? New people will never try to come into business, and that reduces India's production capacity. I hope it's clear. I hope it's clear to everyone. Yes, definitely. Very good question raised by you. If we relax it too much, it can cause uncertainty. But we are not saying give it to everybody. If there is a parent company that is a very well known company which already has AEU, you can give it to other smaller parts affiliated to that company. I am a rubber making manufacturer. My name is very good. But all these 19 friends of mine want to do business under my name. They will follow my protocols and I have AEU. So why deny them AEU? I'm not saying give it to a newcomer, but at least give it to those who are a part and parcel of bigger companies. If you keep denying, how will I expand my business? Suppose I'm doing business from Delhi. Now I want 10 more companies under me, Hyderabad, Guwahati, Chennai. But if nobody is getting easily AEO clearance, then I will also not open these factories easily, right? So what happens? That declines my business growth. That way, India cannot become a production hub, right? So that's why we must give it easily to those who are affiliated to proper brand names. That's what this article is saying. Now, another way we can promote our production is through technology and drone technology. How can we do that? Yesterday in the news, we saw how Pakistani drones were trying to enter two districts in Jammu Kashmir. The Samba district, yes, it was trying to enter. We did an article on that. I showed you the map also. That is called drone, unmanned aerial vehicles. Today we are saying Indian government must spend more money when it comes to capacity to manufacture more drones for commercial and defense purposes. We must improve production link incentive outlay. At least create rupees 1000 crore research and development R&D fund for promoting drone manufacturing. And last is the most interesting. Last is the most interesting. Try to handle tax dispute solution. That is very important. Very important. How are they very important? We must reduce depending and pending cases in the case of direct tax appeal. What is that? Let me quickly clarify. What do you mean by CITA level? Listen carefully. This means it stands for Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals. What is the problem in India? Too many large number of tax appeal cases are pending in front of the Commissioner of Income Tax. Too many. And they are not getting solved on time. It is taking too much delay, right? Many appeals are unresolved for several years due to staff shortage, slow procedure, bureaucratic delays. What happens because of that? If too much pendency is there, we can't clear the backlog cases. And then what happens? Taxpayer, business people are continuously harassed. People are worried and scared of venturing into business because they may have to experience too detailed protocol when it comes to taxation, filing, GST protocols, and people lose trust in the tax system. To promote ease of doing business, we must make the tax pendency clearance at the level of CIT. That's very important. And how can we do that? Create more staff. Have a dual tracking system. Make a fast track jurisdiction for simple tax cases, which are small amount cases, but for those cases that are high and complex, high value tax cases, you can have a detailed procedure. Fill vacancies at the Office of Commissioner of Income Tax so that people's problems get sorted easily. So these are the certain 5 steps we can take to promote more production, more ease of doing business, not harassing businessmen with too much GST or tax delay, and improving drone production, improving clearance being given to new business people, and investing more in critical mineral segment. If we can do all that, perhaps India will continue to maintain a higher growth. And that's the best solution against tariff threat that's coming on India. But if we fail to allocate enough money in these sectors in the budget, then that's when we will keep facing these global economic uncertainties. So that's it from this article. It was a slightly complex article, so I'll create a note on this article in detail and post it in the Telegram so that you can have a step by step easy understanding ability. Very good. Okay? Well said, Ram. Quickly, the question with reference to priorities suggested in the upcoming budget, that's Article 112, annual financial statement. Look at these statements. One, it has been suggested that defense capital expenditure should be reduced in the favor of high revenue spending to maintain fiscal consolidation. Second, deepening corporate bond markets requires restricting investment avenues for insurance companies and provident funds to only sovereign securities. And third, rationalization of custom tariff slab can help address inverted duty structures. If we are facing too much tariff attack, if our exports are not getting any benefit outside, then we can rationalize our custom duty slab and help the problem of too much custom and import export duty and improve competitiveness of domestic manufacturing. Which of these are valid? Which of these are valid? It is still pending, Satya. It is still pending. That case is still pending. That China blames India of the PLI that makes Chinese products more threatened in the Indian market. It's a claim China continuously raises, but India says no, it is not a valid claim to be raised at WTO at all. And in between, the US uncertainty came, and so it became pending. It became pending. So every student, all the students are saying that the answer is C. Is the first statement valid? Is the first statement valid here? Absolutely not. We are not saying reduce the defense expenditure. We are saying improve it to 30%. It's very important. First is not correct. If first is not correct, then A and D cannot be correct. Now, between 2 and 3, which are correct? Second, deepening corporate bond markets require restricting investment avenues. No, that is again not correct. Not at all. Rationalizing custom traps are absolutely yes. If you are able to adjust your custom duties, your tax slabs, in order to have a shield against too much export duties that are imported, for example, through the tariff threat, then definitely you can help in domestic manufacturing, and that's valid. So everybody well answered a tough question. A tough question, really well answered. Kujumba, Eric, Bulbul, Sumit, Ramu, Anup, Satya, Terukula, Vikash. Well done. Very well done. API, very good. For example, Madhav, Hari, Kaizan, codename Devil, very well answered, Anu. Brilliant. This was a very tough question. Very impressive. Very tough question. Well done. Now, the next article, not that difficult, but I need you to understand all the constitutional dimensions of this article. It's a very interesting article. Very interesting article. Let's see how we can break this down. Very good, Janvi, Satya, and Anu. Brilliant. Please come to this article. Now, this article is saying India's speaker, okay, our speaker from Lok Sabha, Mr. Om Birla, is now addressing. He is addressing the 28th Conference of Speakers and Presiding Officers of Commonwealth, a meeting that's happening in New Delhi, and he has said some things very clearly. He has said that let us follow democracy and parliamentary framework properly. Because if we do not do that, then countries will always experience conflict and crisis. It's a very small article, really, that only discusses how the Indian speaker is addressing a Commonwealth meeting at New Delhi. That's it. If you look at this article, you will just read it and ignore this article. You will say, okay, fine. What is there in this article? There's a meeting going on, and our speaker is addressing that meeting. That's it. What to investigate here, but we have to break it down step by step in order to understand the various UPSC relevant information in this article. And what's that information? Thank you so much, Ramu. That's very kind of you. What are we looking at here? Focus, please. We are looking at Mr. Om Birla's conference address. Who is he? He's an Indian politician who is serving as 18th Lok Sabha Speaker, who is serving as the Speaker of India's 18th Lok Sabha. Yes, a Speaker is the presiding officer of Lok Sabha, the lower house of Indian Parliament. Now let's understand the UPSC relevant information. Who is the Speaker? Who is the Speaker and which articles of the Constitution talk about the post of the Speaker? We are looking at how a Speaker is elected by the members of the Lok Sabha from among themselves. The articles of the Constitution from Article 93 to Article 97 speak about the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Article 93 says, we have to arrange for a speaker and a deputy speaker to address and to manage the administration of the office of Lok Sabha. Right? So Articles 93 to 97, with Article 93 specially talking about speaker and deputy speaker. Very, very good. Brilliant, Ramu. Now, what are the functions of the speaker? Yes. What are the functions of the speaker? That's so sweet, told by Satya. What are the functions of the speaker? Clearly talking about the functions of the speaker, a speaker presides over the sittings of Lok Sabha. A speaker maintains order and discipline in Lok Sabha. A speaker decides who is supposed to speak and for what duration is the member supposed to speak. A speaker also decides on parliamentary procedures, like a speaker interprets the rule of procedure and conduct of business in Lok Sabha. It is the decision of the speaker that is final in most of the procedural matters. A speaker certifies and gives you clarity whether a bill is a money bill or not. Just now, Vikash was talking about Article 110, money bill. It is the speaker who clarifies whether a bill is a money bill or not, whose decision in this regard is final. The most important function relates to Article 108 of the Indian Constitution. A speaker presides over joint sitting of both the houses of parliament. So a speaker presides over a joint sitting of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Very good. And which article talks about the joint sitting of both the houses? Article 108. Yes? So speaker presides on that. Then it is the speaker who also has the jurisdiction over the disqualification of MPs, disqualification of ministers of parliament when it comes to defection. What is defection? What is defection? I keep telling you, please read the NCERT book of grade 12th. It is mandatory, contemporary world politics. Very important. It deals with a very nice chapter on defection. It talks about the controversy in India, Aya Ram Gaya Ram. Aya Ram Gaya Ram. From there we believed that we must do something to control the practice of defection. What is defection? Defection means that an MP can change their political party after winning an election. It means disobeying your party's order during important voting in parliamentary assembly. But very good, Terukula, very good, Vikash. When did we add the protocol on anti-defection? It was done in 1985, almost 4 decades before. It was done in 1985, very good, Vikash, under the 52nd Constitutional Amendment. Since then, defection is not acceptable. It's a valid clause for disqualifying a minister of parliament. Under defection, we have the 10th schedule of Indian Constitution. Yes, the 10th schedule of Indian Constitution talks about defection, added in 1985 through 52nd Amendment Act. If you change your party after winning the election, you can be disqualified. But who decides the cases of disqualification of MPs under defection? Speaker. Yes, speaker. And what happens if a leader defects? Aya Ram, Gaya Ram situation. Then a member of parliament, a minister of parliament can lose their seat in parliament or state assembly. This is called disqualification. Who will decide that? Speaker of the House will decide whether a member has been defected or not. All this is about speaker. Now let's come to another concept in this article. Today our speaker of the 18th Lok Sabha is addressing a meeting of Commonwealth. What is Commonwealth? Then what is Commonwealth? Now Commonwealth of Speaker and Presiding Officer is an inter-parliamentary group. It is a forum where various parliaments and leaders of various countries sit together and then they decide priorities on global cooperation, global transparency and democracy, the rule of democracy. It was created in 1969. But what is Commonwealth? What do you mean by Commonwealth? Now, talking about Commonwealth, what exactly is Commonwealth? That's a bigger question. So, Commonwealth is about common. Very good, very good, well said. That code name, very well said that. So Commonwealth of Nations is a voluntary association. Now let's remember, it is not mandatory. Okay, so what is Commonwealth? Yes, it has to do with all the countries that were under British colonialism. Very good. Now this is a voluntary association. Let me write down. It's a voluntary association. It is not binding. It is your wish. Association of all the countries who, very good, who were the former colonies of the British Empire, or the former territories of British Empire. These are known as the Commonwealth country. Very good. They try to cooperate on shared values, mutual respect of democracy and transparency. But what is the CSPOC? It is an inter-parliamentary forum. The parliament of all these Commonwealth countries will come and sit together, and then they will discuss on all these global shared values. What are the key features of Commonwealth group of nations? It is a group that has total 56 members. A group that has 56 members. It includes various British colonies, previous colonies from continents like Asia, Africa, Europe, America, and the Pacific nations. Who is the leader? The symbolic leader is the British monarchy. We just spoke about a word called monarchy when we were talking about Iran. In 1979, during Islamic Revolution, monarchy broke down and now theocracy came in Iran. So what is monarchy? A rule by king or the queen, royal family. So the symbolic leader here will be the British monarch. Where are the headquarters? UK, London. Is it a military bloc? No, it is not a military bloc. Is it an economic bloc? No, it's not an economic bloc, sorry. NATO is a military bloc. APEC is an economic bloc. This is none. This is just about a group that's voluntary, that talks about shared values and shared growth and inter-cooperation. The basic agendas are good governance, human rights, equality, transparency, and the most important is to follow the Commonwealth Charter that deals with all these various protocols. Now, when I use the word charter, when you study GS paper 4, ethics, there is a proper topic there known as governance charter, the charter of governance. In that, you will have to understand what is the importance of charter for an organization. Every organization can have its charter. For example, for India, we believe in our constitution as a living doctrine. Without a written law, without a written piece of legal rules, no organization can function properly. Any small company which has 50 members or 50 employees will also have a charter. The parliament has its own charter. Various ministries have their charter. Various companies have their charter. It's a set of rules and protocols, do's and don'ts. What is the value of a charter in promoting good ethical governance is a very crucial part of GS paper for very good Vikash, like citizens charter. Okay, so you must finish that topic from GS paper 4. Now talking about Commonwealth, yes, Commonwealth believes in all these values under the Commonwealth Charter. Is India a founding member of Commonwealth? Yes. India is a founding member of Commonwealth in 1949. 5 days before I was talking about the word founding member. Why did I speak about it? Who remembers? That time I spoke about Denmark. Denmark, that is in the news right now because of the threat against Greenland. That time I said Denmark is a founding member of NATO. Today I am saying India is a founding member of the Commonwealth group of nations. I hope it's clear to everyone. A quick practice question with reference to the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Very good. Very good, Ram. Great, Kojumba. Look at these statements. 1. The 10th schedule deals with anti-defection law. Second, it was added by the Constitution Amendment 52nd in 1985. 3. The decision regarding the disqualification of a member under the schedule is taken by the Speaker of the House. Article. Very good. 297. Which of these are valid? Vikash, Hari, Madhav, Sumit, Ramu? Priyanshu, no. This time all of you have given the wrong answer. No, you did not read properly. It's not the right answer. It's not the right answer. No, 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 no. Not right. Not correct. Shubham, Pushpita, Kojumba, Eric. Nobody is reading properly. Devil, Terukula, Kaizan, Kojumba, Ramu, Vikash. No, no, no. Absolutely not Priyanshu. No Hari, no Madhav. No Santosh. It's not right. Because it's absolutely right. Very well done. All these are correct. Well done. That's exactly about Article 93 to 97, Schedule 10. Yes, it's totally correct. Okay, so remember these. Now it's time to actually travel. Let's put your travel belts on. Let's go to the West Asia, a war ridden region right now. Let's go to two countries together. Let's travel to Iran and let's travel to Saudi Arabia. Let's see what's going on. A very interesting development has happened. Very well answered. Abhilash, Sitaram, very good, very good. Well done, everyone. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Smart. Very good. Okay, coming back to the next article. This is GS paper 2, so please focus. Uneasy calm in Iran as protests ebb. What happened? What happened in Iran? Iran is seeing the biggest protest that has broken down in this West Asian country since 1979 Islamic Revolution. Back then, the revolution was to create theocracy, the rule by religion, under Mr. Ayatollah Khamenei. Today, Iran is frustrated, and the protest began from Bazari. Shopkeepers went on to women, went on to citizens, Gen Z. Everybody says, no, it's a declining economy. Years of sanctions from America have taken their toll. The value of Riyal falling down, oil trade not profitable, inflation crossing 85%, hyperinflation, things are unaffordable. People want a change of regime. Most of them want Mr. Ayatollah Khamenei to go and to be replaced by a new, modern, democratic leader like the exiled monarch Reza Pahlavi. Advantage is being taken by countries which are enemies of Iran, like America, like Israel, like Saudi Arabia. But today, finally, after days of economic problem, finally, after days of internet shut, after about more than 2,500 people dying, the biggest rebellion since 1979 Islamic Revolution, government choosing to do a clear-cut violence to make people quiet. After all this, finally, the protest is looking slightly reduced. There is a kind of calmness. It's an uneasy calmness. It's not like everything is good, but on the paper, it is looking like everything is very silent right now. Maybe another big storm is supposed to come, we don't know. But right now, it's quiet. Experts who are experts in foreign policy are saying, do not get confused. This is not a calm. It is a warning for another big protest or tsunami to come now. Protest will soon start again because the government has been able to control the protest, but the government of Mr. Khamenei has not been able to reduce the causes behind that protest. The causes continue. Maybe the internet is being reduced, it's being shut to control the spread of the protest. What is the role America is playing now? Now that the protest has reduced, what is the role America is playing really? What's the role America is playing? America says the protest may have come down. Very good, Satya. Iran is a Shia dominated country. That is why Saudi Arabia and Iran have an uneasy relationship. It's one of the rare Shia dominated countries in West Asia, a country that has rich uranium enrichment technology, a country that's rich in nuclear power, if not weapons power, a country where people strongly believe in religion. Today it's under threat. Yes. What is America saying? America is saying, okay, right now, maybe there is a silence, there is quietness, there is a calm, but still America is saying if one more aggressive or one more violence occurs, we are ready to take an action. All options are open. President Trump said last week, I am loaded with my gun and I'm ready to shoot at Iran. Similarly, today also he's saying the same thing, that I'm ready to attack. One more episode of violence, I am ready to start again. For now, military action is quiet. If you remember recently, we spoke about Qatar also. Because of the ongoing protest, countries were worried that today, any time America or Israel might attack, and that's why America and UK told their military personnel at the Al Udeid air base, the largest military air base of America in Qatar, Doha, to start evacuating, to start going out. The war may start again because President Trump is very, very cautiously looking at that with all options open. At the same time, people are worried about human right violation. The groups that criticize Mr. Khamenei are saying that Ayatollah Khamenei is doing serious human rights violation. Many deaths are happening and many executions are planned, showing the severity of genocide that may happen now in this area. In this backdrop, now, Bacha, listen to me carefully. In this very interesting backdrop, there is one more development that has happened and that is more shocking than this. What is that development? Look at the map, please. So many times I have told you that West Asia is a complicated condition. I have told you. So understand, please, that West Asia is divided between two groups clearly. There is one group that's led by America with a key ally known as Israel, with another great supporter, Saudi Arabia, with military bases and some support from countries like Qatar. On the other hand, there are other set of countries which are complete enemy camp. These are countries which are Russia, Iran, China. This is the situation practically when it comes to the ideological problem in West Asia. Today, as Iran is bursting out in protest, as America is threatening Iran, Israel is waiting to attack, a new development has happened. Saudi Arabia has been one country that has hated Iran throughout. It's not just about the Shia-Sunni conflict. It's more than that. It is about Saudi Arabia getting concerned that Iran is the biggest uranium and nuclear power. So Iran is the biggest threat in West Asia along with Israel. Saudi is very scared of Iran. So scared that recently Saudi is now making new partnerships. New partnerships like Pakistan, SMDA. New partnerships like Turkey. That's what it is doing now, Saudi. Today, Saudi has done a very strange reaction. A very odd behavior has come from Saudi. Very odd behavior. What is that odd behavior? As Iran is breaking into protest and countries like America, Israel are ready to take action and threaten, Saudi is not interested. Why like that? Saudi has always hated Iran. Saudi always wanted opportunity to counter Iran. Today, if America is saying, I will take action in Iran, what did Saudi say in return? Saudi said, okay, do what you want, but I will not allow you to use my territory to launch something against Iran. Sorry, I'm not going to allow that. I am not going to support an active military intervention in Iran. That is what Saudi told America. This is a new twist in global geopolitics. A hater enemy of Iran should have supported America, should have been very happy, very, very happy today that finally Iran will be conquered. It should have supported, if not Israel, at least it should have supported America. It's not supporting. It is saying, I won't give you my land to do that. Why do you think that change has come? That's the last article for the day before we go there. Since I'm talking about Iran, thank you, Satya, I want to show you the key ports in Iran. Okay. Yes, protest is happening in Iran. Saudi is now kind of acting strange, not supporting America against Iran. Why? Let me tell you. But before that, look at the map here. You can see the map. You all know the biggest and the most important port that India needs in Iran is the Chabahar port. You can see the location in the southern East Iran, very close to Pakistan border. That is a part of India's IMEC, India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor. Okay. Exactly 72 kilometers away, you have another port in Pakistan named as the Gwadar port. This is a key link for China under Belt and Road Initiative. Yes. Now, which are all the other ports in Iran that India needs and India really, really wants them to be stable? That's why India doesn't support any military action in Iran. The biggest one is Bandar Abbas. I repeat, Bandar Abbas. It includes another small part of port that is known as Shahid Raji Port. Shahid Raji Port. It is in southern Iran on Persian Gulf, near the Strait of Hormuz. You all know Strait of Hormuz. If you want, I can show you again, if it's there on this map. Strait of Hormuz. Where is Strait of Hormuz? Yes, right here. Strait of Hormuz is that area where UAE is almost denting into Iran. Strait of Hormuz. From where more than 12% of global supply of oil and trade passes. Yes. So Bandar Abbas is very near Strait of Hormuz. Why is it important? The biggest and the busiest post in Iran, with Shahid Raji being very, very special for its container cargo and industrial shipment. Next important port, Bushehr port. Why was Bushehr in the news few months before? Because Bushehr also has a uranium enrichment plant. Although it is not actively doing uranium enrichment, but that's a key and a very important nuclear location of Iran, Bushehr. Third, Amirabad port. Largest port on the Caspian Sea, important for northern trade. Largest port in Caspian Sea. Map, please. Largest port in the Caspian Sea. Which port? Amirabad port. Last, Anzali port, Nausharar port. So all these ports could come in places in the news in match the following. Just like Haifa port, Israel, Gwadar port, Pakistan, Hambantota, Sri Lanka, Djibouti, Africa. So what I want you to do is not to really get worried to learn so much, but let's open the map. We can do a separate session on that. We'll open the map. We will see all the interesting ports in various areas of the world. We'll have a class only on ports, okay? Now here, therefore, do remember whether it's Bushehr, whether it's Amirabad, you all know about Bandar Abbas, you have recently seen Chabahar, then Anzali, all these including Shahid Raji. They are all located in Iran, Iran. Okay, so you can remember this from the PDF. Very good. Who said that? Ramu and Eric. Just like Dukum port is an Oman. Yes, India has access to that port. Very good. Quick question, and we'll end the class by traveling to Saudi Arabia. Why has Saudi Arabia changed its attitude? Let's have a look. With reference to recent protests in Iran and their implication on India, look at these statements, please. One, the protests in Iran began due to economic grievances, and later they became a movement challenging countries' theocratic political power, religion power. Second, during the protest, Iran authorities imposed internet shutdowns to control information flow and suppress dissent. If this was India, we could have said this is against Article 19(1)(a). 3. Political instability and international sanctions on Iran have a direct implication for India's strategic interest. Why? Because it includes investment in ports like Chabahar port near Gwadar port, 72 kilometers southeast Iran. Which of these are valid? I think A should not be the answer. It is C, that is also wrong. So we will go with B for this one. B should be the right answer. No, it should definitely be D. So very well answered. Eric, Kaizan, Shivam, Abhilash, Rabina, Akhtar, Rishi, Terukula, Vikash, Santosh, Sumit. Very good. Very good, Kojumba. Very good, Madhav, Kritik. Good morning, Rabina. Good morning, Rishi. Well done. Definitely all statements are correct. So now we are almost done with today's paper, but I want to quickly, in 5 minutes, talk about the new change of policy in Saudi Arabia. Let's travel and understand. No, traveling is always better. Let's go to Saudi and understand. Okay? Quickly focus, bacha, for a minute. What's happening in Saudi? I just told you there are two opposite camps, and one student was also saying, ma'am, it's Syria also. Yes, you are right. When it comes to Iran, Russia, and Iran, Russia, and all these countries, definitely we talk about another nation called Syria. But there is a problem in Syria. In Syria, till we had Al-Assad, till that time, Russia, Iran, all were very happy. They were supporting Syrian regime under Al-Assad. But now, situation has changed. After the decline of Al-Assad, he was a dictator. He was the rare ruler in the world who also chose to use chemical weapons, biological warfare on its people. It's a very interesting history. His government fell down during Arab Springs. Again, he came to power. He occupied most of the land, but once again, he was defeated. Now there is no Assad. When there is no, very good Terukula, when now there is no Assad, then whom will Russia, Iran support? They can't support, right? So now who is ruling? It is another leader by the name of Al-Shara. But this time he's a pro-American leader in Syria, okay? So Syria is dominated by Al-Shara now, who occupies most of the areas of Syria. And he's a pro-American leader, Al-Shara. Very good. And very good. Very good, Terukula. Now that you're saying, I must talk about it quickly. Actually, till Al-Assad was there. Russia was a great supporter of Al-Assad, okay, very good supporter. So Al-Assad had given Russia a port in Syria named as Tartus port. It was a key access of Russia in the West Asia, but after Assad government declined, who will give you port Tartus? Nobody will give. It closed. So therefore, as an alternate solution, Russia signed a deal with Sudan. Very good. And Russia now is opening its base in Port Sudan. Okay, so always remember that. Okay, in Port Sudan. Yes, in the Red Sea. Very good. Very, very good. Wonderful. Wonderful. Everybody, well done. Now, quickly, let's come to this agenda. Why has Saudi Arabia opposed military action against Iran? I just showed you the block. There is a clear cut divide. America, Saudi, Israel should have acted together against Iran. It was a great opportunity. President Trump is ready to attack. Then why is Saudi not attacking? Ideally, Saudi would have said, take my land. You are my ally. Go attack Iran. Finish Iran. I'll be very happy because I hate Iran. That should have happened, right? But it did not happen. For decades, Saudi and Iran are bitter enemies. Saudi is a Sunni monarchy. Iran, Saudi Sunni monarchy. Iran, Shia theocracy. They hate each other. They never supported each other. Even during war in Syria, even during war in Yemen, in Iraq, in Lebanon, they both were on the opposite sides. They were never on the same party. They hate each other. But today, as the protest is going on in Iran, and as President Trump wants to attack, Saudi is not ready to support Trump. Why? Why? Saudi is not only silent, Saudi is saying you will not use my territory to do a military strike over Iran. I am not supporting that, sorry. Why do you think it has happened? This article summarizes it beautifully, beautifully. I love this article. After a long time, a great article coming in the paper. Why do you think that has happened? Very good sort of guess, very good hypothesis, Kritik. Well done. Now let's understand why is it happening. There are 3 points I'll make. Listen carefully. 1, the fear of creating a dangerous example. Listen carefully. Both Saudi and Iran, both Saudi, you can see on the map, okay? Both Saudi and both Iran, they are monarchies. They are not any democracies. They are both authoritarian systems. They are both monopoly systems. One, Saudi is ruled by a by a monarchy, that is Sunni monarchy. And when you look at Iran, it is led by a minority group, theocracy. Again, it is no democracy. Both are authoritarian. Today, if a country like America gives an example to the world that foreign military action can be used against another authoritarian power to control their internal fight, the same logic can be used by America tomorrow if America is unhappy with Saudi. Saudi knows America changes like that. America changes its policy. Saudi cannot take that risk. Today, if Saudi says go attack Iran because it's authoritarian and make a democracy there, tomorrow the same logic can be used by America and other countries to attack Saudi Arabia. That is also authority, go attack that. After all, it is also rich in oil. So it has to maintain that decorum that no matter what we are, theocracy, monarchy, authoritarian, don't attack as a foreign power, okay? The difference is not governance, but geopolitics. Saudi is a great ally of America. That gives Saudi economic stability. Iran has been severely sanctioned by America, and therefore Iran is an enemy of America and Israel both. But today, if Saudi supports attack, tomorrow Saudi may face the same attack. So it will not take that chance. Second reason, listen carefully. Second reason, the fear of regional instability. West Asia is already a very, very destabilized region. Look what's happening since Arab Spring in 2011. There is a protest and a fight every day. Is there peace in Gaza, West Bank? No. Is there peace in Syria, Yemen? Is there peace in countries between UAE, Saudi also? Is there any peace that we have seen in Libya, Lebanon? No peace at all. We have seen every day some genocide, some war takes place. And previously, in the past, whenever America has interfered, for example, Iraq, Saddam Hussein. For example, Libya, Gaddafi. Whenever America has interfered, America has always left that country destroyed. It has never restored democracy, whether it was Afghanistan. Suddenly it ran away in 2021, left behind all the weapons, and all these weapons were then later used by Taliban. America has a history of coming, doing a massacre, killing the leader, doing economic plundering, putting its force, and suddenly going back. Bye bye. No stability. Why will Saudi take and believe that risk? Today, if Iran collapses, same chaos will follow. If chaos follows here, it will create more instability in this area. It will trigger war, civil war, anarchy. Iran has a population of 90 million people. It's a 90 million population country. They will go for a civil war. It will create refugee crisis. Where will the refugees go, do you think? Where will these refugees go? Naturally, it's so easy for them to migrate into countries like Saudi, into countries like Oman, and they will move on to Europe from this route. So Saudi will be full of refugees. Saudi doesn't want that. It will destabilize the entire area, entire trade. Saudi will not want that. Third reason. Third and the most important reason, so please focus, the most important is Israel factor. Israeli factor. Saudi Arabia and Gulf countries are worried about Israel. Israel has constantly acted with violence and aggression. Israel has continued to attack Palestine. It never agreed to 20-point peace program given by Trump. It refused to that. Second, Trump told Israel, Mr. Netanyahu, listen, until I allow, don't attack anybody. Did he listen? He attacked a missile on Qatar, not on American military base at Al Udeid, but on Hamas terror organization. But at least it attacked without permission. America did not like that. Israel has been bombing multiple countries since 2023. Palestine bombed, Qatar bombed, Iran bombed, Yemen bombed, Jordan bombed. Israel has not left anybody. Hezbollah has been becoming very weak today. Pro-Iran government in Syria also collapsed now. Al-Assad also gone. It is now Al-Shara. If Iran also collapses, Israel will become the dominant and the most important power in West Asia. Right now, there is an opposite power camp. If Israel is powerful, so is Iran. Yes, Saudi has a balance today. Both are equally powerful. Israel is very powerful, so is Iran. So Saudi feels balanced. Plus, there is America to support Saudi. Tomorrow, if there is no Iran, then Israel, supported by America, will be the ruler, the de jure ruler of West Asia. Then what will happen to Saudi Arabia? Tomorrow, Israel can attack Saudi also. America can also do the same to Saudi. It has oil. Remember, resource curse. Who used that word? Kritik was saying one day. Resource curse, ma'am. It is resource curse. So why will Saudi Arabia want to create a mess in this area? Right now, Saudi is already conducting another battle with Iran and with UAE in Yemen. As Iran demands northern Yemen, UAE is fighting for southern Yemen to have access to all these important regions. Strait of Hormuz. Yes, in Gulf of Eden. Already it is having a war. It doesn't want any more war. It doesn't want that. Ultimately, last but not the least, it's also about Islamic Brotherhood. Iran is a Jewish country. Why will they want Iran to rule West Asia? Why will they want Israel? Sorry, Israel is a Jewish country. Why will they want Israel to become the real ruler to West Asia? It will not allow that. It could threaten insecurity among Arabian states. So, therefore, out of this completely, today, Saudi has changed its strategy. Why? In one line, if I was to summarize, listen carefully. Today, Saudi Arabia says, I want a weak Iran. I want a broken Iran, but I still want Iran. I don't want Iran to collapse and Israel to become the real leader. I don't want that. In fact, Saudi is so scared right now that in the past, Saudi is doing partnerships with Pakistan, General Asif Munir, Turkey. It's doing partnership with Qatar, Egypt. Why? All these are acts of frustration. What to do? Saudi is really worried. If actually Iran goes away, who will rule Israel? Jewish country rules. Will it spare Saudi? No. One day it will not spare Saudi either. So therefore Saudi doesn't want that. Okay. That's it. That's it for today's geopolitical coverage. Is there a question do we have here? One thing I was forgetting. Now is the time to talk about that small thing. There was one thing I was forgetting. And now I want to talk about that small thing. And what is that small thing here? Now, we have understood the entire civil war and the situation in West Asia. I hope you have understood. There is one geographical fact about this area that I wanted my students to know about. Okay, what's that geographical fact? Yes, there is a mountain range that is located here in south of Saudi Arabia, exactly on the border with Yemen. In the previous lectures, we have spoken about a mountain that exists between Thailand and Cambodia. That is a border conflict between the two. Today, I'm talking about another mountain in Saudi Arabia, south of Saudi Arabia, southern part of Saudi Arabia. It has a boundary shared with Yemen. It is a unique landscape in the desert of Saudi Arabia. It has some highest peaks of Saudi Arabia. Does anybody know which mountain am I talking about? Does anybody know which mountain am I talking about? What mountain is that? You should know. Dangrik is Thailand, Cambodia. This is known as Asir mountain range. Okay, I'll write here. It is known as Asir mountain range. I just want you to know the name for places in the news. Okay, Asir mountain range. It's a very unique landscape. It has one of the rarest, highest peaks of Saudi Arabia. In the map, I want you to know it is located very beautifully. Okay, it is located in such a strange way that you have the sea on the left side, you have Yemen on the south side, and you have Saudi to the north. Some very important locations of Saudi are existing in this region. So, which is the highest peak of? I leave you with this question today. We can discuss this on Monday. Which is the highest peak of Asir mountain range? That is something you can share with me on Monday. Yes, very good, Satya. That's it. Now, as I end the lecture, there was an article on the front page. There is nothing much complicated about this article, so I don't want to really invest time here. But there are two concepts in this article which I thought my students should know. One concept is the startup or the Skill India mission, and another concept was angel tax. Since both these relate to GS paper 3, I thought quickly at least you should know about them. This article is only talking about how the Indian government is saying that we have created a great startup culture in India, and we have seen 44,000 startups that have come in India. That's a wonderful thing. And why has it happened? It has happened because of the Startup India and Skill India mission. Both these were began in 2015 and 2016 to promote innovation and to encourage more people in India to start business, to create more manufacturing, more jobs, more entrepreneurship in India. How will the government help? The government is helping by giving funding of about rupees 10,000 crore. Corpus has been created here. Income tax exemption has been given for 3 years, and all these startups have now been exempted from angel tax. Very good, Santosh. They have been exempted from angel tax. What is angel tax? What is angel tax? Yes, what is angel tax? Angel tax is the tax that is charged on startups. It is charged on startups when they receive an investment that is at a higher value than their normal or fair market value. A good example can be a startup has a value of 10 crores, but some investor is now giving that startup extra 15 crore investment. But the value of that startup is only 10 crore. The extra margin of 5 crore is treated by the income tax department as taxable income. So therefore, you will have to pay tax on this extra amount, and that becomes angel tax. Okay. Why was it introduced? To stop in India the problem of money laundering, a matter of internal security, GS paper 3 and GS paper 2, money laundering. To prevent people from bringing black money into companies by overvaluing them. Suppose I'm doing black marketing now. Actually, I'm not doing so. I hope I don't get a complaint against me. I'm not doing. I'm giving an example here. Suppose I manufacture a product. I make this remote and I'm doing black marketing. I have a lot of extra money. Now I decide what will I do with some extra money, and say Terukula and Kritik and Santosh and Om Prakash have a company, and I say, okay, I have so much crores of rupees. Let me invest all this extra money in their company. Now I am overvaluing their company. Their company is 5 crore, but I have so much black money. I have put extra 20 crores there. Now this extra margin, what to do with that? Their value is only 5 crore. I am giving 20 extra. There is extra 15 crore now that they have, but that is much above their own market value. So government will tax that balance money. That's called angel tax. Why? Because we can't promote this business, right? Otherwise, all the government officials, ministers will keep on doing black money into funding private companies of their own choice. It quite matches with the same initiative that Indian government had done to control electoral bonds created by State Bank of India, because government doesn't want anybody to promote company or any business with black money. So to stop that, to stop money laundering, we believe in these things. So that's it for the day then. I'll take your leave now. Okay. Angel tax is now no more. It has been abolished right now for startups. Okay. To promote more business in India. That's it for the day. A quick reminder about 27 and 28. Do apply if you're preparing and you want support for notes, books, guidance, mentorship. And if you want to do that, remember, use code SPLIVE. Okay, you'll get maximum discount on that. Yeah, don't say that, Satya. Now you're really scaring me, bache. I'll have to put a disclaimer that it was just an example. Please don't take me seriously. No, take me seriously, but for this example, don't take me seriously. Okay, thank you so much. God bless each one of you. I'll see you on Monday now, 9:30 a.m. And I will keep sharing important notes in Telegram. Prelims is coming near. So it's a hectic time, I know, but let's just keep up our confidence. Let's study as much as we can. Even if you are writing exam next year, at least we can build on our concepts and then proceed with important textbooks. I will also keep posting about important books that you should use. I'll keep doing that. Yes, that is correct, Madhav. True, there are certain controversies. So thank you so much. Bye Madhav, bye Tanmay, bye Jeevit, bye Eric, bye Kujumba, Vikash, Ramu, Sitaram, Terukula, Saurav, Sumit, and Bulbul, Iba, Akhtar, Om Prakash, Sitaram, Satya. Bye bye everyone. Most of the names I already know now. I'm so familiar. Bye Ramu, bye Santosh, bye Vikash, and who else is there with me today? Many code names in between. Sumit, Hari. Okay, I think I'm done with most. All right. Code name Devil. All right. Abhilash, Shiv, Kaizen, Kritik, Bulbul. That's it, I suppose. Okay then. Priyanshu, of course. Shubham. Thank you, Terukula. Bye bye. God bless you. God bless everyone. Bye, Rabina. God bless you.